Alright, welcome back to another video on the channel. Today I'm going to be talking about why Dead by Daylight's dying and why in the recent anniversary stream they did, there were a couple things that I picked up on that I think might be able to save the game if they do them right. And I don't think it's going to be what you'd expect. First we need to talk about why Dead by Daylight's dying, the real reason. I know people have made like 100 videos on this topic, but I'm just saying like the main reason that DBD is dying isn't because the community being toxic. It's not because, whatever the other reason. It's because the survivor gameplay has been the exact same forever, and it's getting really stale, especially when you play solo queue and your teammates just kill themselves on hook or more likely disconnect as soon as they go down, which they are adding disconnect bots. So when your bot teammate does that at the beginning, they are replaced by an AI, which that's nice. That'll fix that a little bit. Of course, the AIs are terrible, but that's a whole nother story for another video. But the main reason that DBD is dying is because we only have one game mode. I mean, we've been playing the exact same thing, and for killer it's a little bit different because if you play different killers, it's kind of like a new game mode in itself. If you go play Wesker and then you play Myers, it's two different styles of play. Meanwhile, for both killers, the survivors are still looping pallets, doing gens, repeat. But there is hope. There is hope. And there's hope because in the new event, when you pick up the little invitations or whatever to get your cosmetic mask, some of the masks look really cool. The one for the night, I think I might actually go for that because I don't really care about most of the masquerade things. But even if you don't care about them at all, if you pick up the invitations, you get 3 charges. There's 2 different things you can do with the event charges as a survivor. And remember, you get 3 of these per match. And the way it works is if you use all 3 of them, you don't get the cosmetic that's attached for the character you're playing. So you just won't get it. But they did make it a little bit easier to unlock the cosmetic because as a survivor, all you have to do is be alive at the time the exit gate's opened. And that can be the hatch too. Once the hatch is open, you get it. And as killer, obviously, you just have to not disconnect, right? Still, that's it. But that's not the point. The point is the first thing you can do with the charge for the survivor is you can bamboozle a window. The way they said it, they said you can block a window so the killer can't chase you. Here's what I say to that. It's useless. It's literally useless. There's a reason that killer has the perk bamboozle and survivors don't. You never want to block a window as a survivor unless it's like some god window. And the only god windows that exist are next to like breakable walls. It's gonna be pointless. The killer's already gonna break the wall even if you vault it and it doesn't get blocked. It's useless. But the good thing is the second option for survivors sounds like it's gonna be really fun to use. Even if it's not good, it'll still be fun to mess with. You can spawn an emergency quote-unquote pallet, and I think it's gonna work a little bit like Pallet Freddy, where you can see the location where the pallets are at and then you can place one down. And that's going to be hilarious. But I will say that once you drop the pallet, it breaks immediately. So I think the killer is going to kind of have built-in Spirit Fury, not enduring. So if they respect the pallet, I don't know how they could respect a pallet that they don't see until you spawn it, but it could happen. You never know. So I don't know. It's going to be fun. That's the main thing. It's going to be fun. And for the killer side, we have 3 different ones. The first one is you can reduce the duration of a stun. So I guess you can make it to where you have kind of enduring even if you're not running enduring. Kind of mid, honestly. That one I wouldn't really waste a charge on that unless you really think you can get it down and they're in a dead zone or something, or they're about to make it to another pallet, and then maybe having enduring would be nice. I think that one's pretty useless too. The second one though is you can remotely break a pallet or breakable wall. Most maps don't even have breakable walls. I guess that'll be good on Dead Dog, but also kind of useless. But breaking a pallet remotely, you could kind of zone the survivor out and act like you're going to chase him around the pallet and then break it without having to do any kind of animation or anything, which is really nice. So yeah, I think I'm going to use that one, and then maybe the last one, which is if you get to tier 1 Bloodlust on somebody, just tier 1, I mean it could be 2 or 3, whatever, but at least tier 1 Bloodlust, you can mark the survivor and make them exposed. So yeah, that's going to be fun too. And remember, for all of these, both killer and survivor, you get 3 charges you can use. So you could expose somebody 3 times, or you could break a pallet and expose somebody. On survivor, you could spawn 3 pallets. It's going to be kind of insane. And that's the main point. Everything else aside, coming with the new updates, this is the closest thing we have to getting a new game mode. I'm sorry, but the last events, smashing a pumpkin and you get a haste status effect for a couple seconds, or jumping in a snowman, that's not a new game mode. Those are just like random side quests that you can do or you don't have to do. This, you're going to want to use your charges, because if a survivor, let's say a survivor spawns a pallet and stuns you with it, then you still chase them, you get Bloodlust 1 and then insta down them. There's going to be new game modes and new creative ways to play the game. So that's really the main thing here. We need a new game mode, and this is the closest thing we have. And they said they're working on making all the events better. So if all the events are like this, where you can do different stuff every time, it's going to be nice. I would still rather have an actual dedicated game mode, but Looking at the roadmap, there's going to be a lot of events this year, and hopefully most of them, if not all of them, will have something like this, some sort of mechanic that's introduced to the game, because it's really cool. All of this stuff is really good. Even the ones that are useless, like blocking a window, I'm sure that we'll find a way to make that useful too. But yeah, there is one more thing, and I want to touch a little bit more on the disconnect bots, because solo queue is really rough. I played solo queue and just tried to get one build video done and it ended up just being a complete nightmare, and that's how it is 90% of the time. But with disconnect bots coming in, even though they're going to be useless in chase, I only played a couple custom games against the bots because I don't know, if I'm playing a killer I'm not good with, I just go in against real survivors. I'm not scared. I've never dodged a lobby as killer. I don't care, bro. But some people do, so it's good the bots are there for them, I guess. But the bots are useless. They will literally, there's a pallet right next to them, and instead they'll run to the corner of the map and just loop like some little wall in the corner, one of the like Z walls that you can't even do anything. They'll loop that instead of the killer shack. It's happened every time I played them. So the bots are useless, but at least they will do generators. They literally will do gens, and that's what matters, because you would rather have an AI that's going to go down instantly in chase sitting on a gen than nothing at all, and maybe you still have a chance. So it's going to be nice. The new killer looks okay. I'll have a more detailed video on that once we see the PTB and everything, but I like the look of the new killer. At least we'll see how the power works. The new survivor, really with the survivors, it all depends on the perks. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited for the new event. Let me know down in the comments what game mode you would want added. For me, I have really two different ones that I want. One is something that's been talked about for a long time, and the other one is my idea. I'll just tell you right now. The first one is 2v8 game mode. I don't know if they just physically can't do it or what, but that should already be in the game, because it sounds simple, but I'm not a developer, so I don't know how hard it would actually be to implement. But it was basically 2 killers, 8 survivors, double the gens, or maybe like add 4 more gens, something like that. And it would just be fun. The combos you could have, you could be chased by 2 Alchemist Ring Blights at the same time, or you could have a Scratch Mirror Myers chasing you while a huge Terrorist Doctor constantly reveals your location. There's a lot of like really cool combos they could do. So that I still want, but my idea is a 1v1 pit, right? 1v1 arena, whatever you want to call it, where you can queue up as a survivor and queue up as a killer, and you'll get put against another survivor slash killer in a 1v1, and the map will be random, or maybe you can vote for the map, something like that. One you would spawn in the killer shack, one you would spawn just outside of it, and then when the timer goes down to 0, the chase begins. Whenever the survivor goes down, they instantly get healed, and all the pallets and breakable walls and everything reset on the map, and then you can do it again until one of you wants to stop, basically. That would be really good for newer players, or for people who just aren't that good at looping, and maybe you don't go against too many blights, so you can queue up against your friend in the 1v1 arena, something like that. I don't know. The point is, it's a good idea. Make it happen. Make it happen behavior. Look, I would even take a prop hunt game mode, or like hide and seek, just anything other than the regular game mode. It doesn't have to be perfectly balanced. Like a 2v8 game mode would be so imbalanced. Like I was just saying, you could have a Tombstone Myers and a Deathslinger, and the Deathslinger just reels you in, and then the Myers mores you once you get off the chain. Like, but it would be fun. And that's the main thing with the new event. For all we know, the spawning a pallet thing is going to be broken, but I don't care. If a survivor spawns a pallet on me and stuns me, it's going to be fun. It's going to be something new to the game, new mechanics. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments about the new anniversary event and everything. And then also let me know if you have any ideas for a game mode other than 2v8 and the other one I said. If you liked the video, subscribe for more content like this. I'm probably going to have another video out in a couple days, maybe even tomorrow, about the new PTB and how the killer's power works and everything. Like the video to push it into the algorithm. And yeah, that's it, man. I don't know. I'm excited. I'm really excited for the new chapter. I'm excited for the new event even more than the new chapter, honestly. Just something fresh that we can enjoy and have fun, even if it's not balanced. With all that being said, I'm out.